I challenge you to count how many times I said Fiverr in this video, because I feel like all I've been saying is Fiverr, 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 Fiverr. So Fiverr for life, right? Hello and welcome back to Sandra's Shelf, where we talk all things self-help in the matters of education, wealth, and health. So today's video has been 3 months in the work, as in I've been working on this for 3 months just to see how it's going, what's not going, what's going, and finally I'm here to present it to you. Today I'm going to explain the pros and cons of using Fiverr in 2021 and to the perspective as a seller, because I've been a seller on the website for 3 months now. But first I will briefly explain what Fiverr is. So Fiverr is an online marketplace that allows buyers or like business owners to contact sellers, so therefore freelancers, for a specific service that they require. And these services by the freelancers are posted on the Fiverr website, and basically sellers get to choose what gigs they want to offer. There's a great variety of services which are gigs that are offered on Fiverr. So I'm gonna list a few of the big categories so you can get an idea and a feel for what services you could offer or you could purchase on Fiverr. We have graphics and designs, writing and translation, video and animation, music and audio, business, lifestyle, programming and tech, data, as well as digital marketing, which is very popular right now. Essentially, like I said, there is something for every buyer and every seller out there. If you run a business, a small business, or if you're just doing your own thing, I'm pretty sure you can find anything on Fiverr that you will need. So before I get into the pros and cons, I want to explain a little bit of my journey on Fiverr, because I wanted to make sure that I actually took this journey before making this video. Because when I was first starting out and I was first discovering new ways to make money online, I was kind of aghast at the videos that were out there, because people were saying, okay, you can make money through Fiverr and Upwork, and they kept listing all these places you could make money. But when it comes down to it and someone wants to actually make money, it is not that easy as they say it is. So I had to take the initiative myself to see what the hype was about. So I started becoming a seller in mid-July 2021, and right now we're mid-October 2021, so that is almost exactly 3 months, and I have thoughts and I have opinions. So for the first week and a half, I felt like nothing was happening in my profile. You can actually check if people are looking at your gigs, you can see the impressions and the click-through, and so I was like, okay, no one is, looking at my gigs. I try to share them online and I haven't really had a chance to share them anywhere particular. And so I just waited, I was patient, and after a week and a half, I got my first message, and then 2 days later, I got my first Fiverr order of $5. So if you want to view my profile, it is obviously linked down below, and any of the links that I will mention in this video will also be linked down below. I also have a blog post on Fiverr, which is very similar to this video, in case you want to just, brush up on some information that I've said in this video and you want a written form, that will also be available down below for you. So to set up my Fiverr profile was pretty easy. I think it took me a total of 3 hours, but that's also because I was listing 2 gigs, not only one, although there's only the 1 gig that actually made me money. So that is one thing to also consider what I'm saying here. Only one of the gigs is actually bringing in money. The other gig, I feel like it's just left on the wayside. So in those 3 hours, I made sure that I was making nice thumbnails of my gigs, making it look more professional. I made sure to include a writing sample, because if you include a sample in your profile, people are more likely to click and more likely to trust you before buying one of your services. I also made sure that I had nice long descriptions of the services and a nice long description on my profile explaining who I am, what I do, what is my expertise as well. Because obviously you want to create an attractive profile, especially if you're a beginner, because that will be more eye-catching for the seller that is searching for your kind of services. So you want to make sure you stand out. If you want more information on how you can set up a profile, I'm just telling you right now, it's pretty simple and it doesn't really require much from you, just some time and energy to, get everything started. But once it's up and you have nothing to worry about. The buyers will come to you. So if you want a follow-up video to this explaining exactly how Fiverr works even more in details besides the pros and cons, you can let me know down below and I will be making that for you. If not, let's just jump into the pros and cons. So I want to start with the pros because it's always good to start with the positives. Fiverr has pretty good pros. Now just remember, most of these are my own personal opinion, but I'm pretty sure there are other people that will agree with me, especially if they're a seller/buyer on Fiverr. So the first pro to Fiverr is that it has affordable services. Why is affordable services important? It's because it makes it easier for small businesses to get the services that they need, because most of the time when you want to hire a freelancer, it's going to cost you a lot of money. It doesn't matter how small or big your business is. Also, most services start at $5. Now this is a beneficial thing, especially to buyers, but also to sellers. It's not that bad considering that Fiverr actually brings you the customers themselves, so you don't have to spend money on marketing or creating a website for yourself. You just post your services on Fiverr and you just wait for the seller. However, obviously $5 for a service is not that great. Starting off could really make you feel like you're making peanuts, and that's when you need to give it some time and patience, because when I first started, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be making money off this website for $5 here and there. Nothing's going to happen. But gradually, as you collect reviews and as your account grows and as you're shown more often while people are searching for your services, then obviously you're going to get more customers and you're going to get more high paying customers, and consequently you can after a while up your service charges too. Now the good thing about having a $5 starting rate is that say a buyer has only $5, then he can choose a new and upcoming freelancer and take his chances there and only be losing $5. Now, if a buyer wants to, have quality work and be assured to have quality work, he'll probably choose a buyer that has more reviews and, charges maybe double the price, so starting at $10. Now, see, it all depends and there is a logic behind it. Obviously, we can see this as a negative for the sellers, but it's actually not, because considering that Fiverr doesn't ask you for a startup rate or it doesn't ask you for, specific details about who you are, what do you do, etc. It's pretty easy. It's an open market basically. And the other great thing about the services is that you can also get tips from the buyers. So sometimes I will have a small service of $5, but my buyer will be pretty satisfied and he or she will tip me an extra $5. So I actually make more money off of what I was offering, or even sometimes more than that. However, everything I make on Fiverr comes with a cost and it comes with a commission cost. So I'm not paying anything, but Fiverr is deducting the money that is coming to me. I will be explaining that later on in the cons, but right now we're still in the positive. The second great thing about Fiverr is that reviews are available for both the buyers and sellers. Therefore, that means you can see the negative and the positive reviews, not only for the sellers, but also for buyers. Like, it could be sometimes that you have these people and you have no idea what they're trying to tell you, what kind of service they're trying to get. Like, it's clear and listed what services you do, but sometimes people are very vague in their own instructions and their own wants of what they need from the service. So it's always much easier when you get to click on the profile and to see, okay, have they ever bought anything on Fiverr before? If so, what are their reviews? Are people complaining about them? Or are people, indifferent about them? And then you as a seller, you can cover yourself because you get to decide before you accept to proceed with this customer, basically. And in that sense, it protects both buyers and sellers from scammers, because scammers are everywhere. It's just a natural phenomenon of the internet. You can have someone saying, oh, I will do this for you, and then you pay for their service and they will give you a terrible service, right? So these reviews that are posted actually helps everyone on Fiverr, and it keeps Fiverr transparent. The third pro I need to share about Fiverr is the seller's protection. So when I submit and deliver a work on Fiverr, the buyer has to also submit and accept the delivery. If not, it is suspending until 3 days, and then Fiverr runs that order through and marks it as complete. Now, this is a great process because if the buyer forgets and whatnot, it just ensures that I will get the money. And if the customer is unhappy, I normally always offer revisions to make sure I can tweak and submit things as they want. But there are some buyers that are very nitpicky and they don't really know what they're saying, or they don't really trust anyone on Fiverr. So that can make it really hard. So it's great that once you deliver, no matter what happens and what exchange you have, on Fiverr's end, it will mark it complete after 3 days. These are things that can conflict also with your rates of service, because if it says that you are always late to deliver service or you're never on time, that's also bad, and it's also reflecting bad on your profile, right? So in that sense, Fiverr is really great at protecting its sellers, and that's why, you know, you wait until someone places the order before you can actually work on their order. And that's the great thing about Fiverr, because if you're to do freelancing on yourself, you're probably gonna have to ask the person to send you a deposit first, and then you can start working, and then you pray that they're gonna send you the rest of the money once the work is done and delivered. But with Fiverr, you don't have to worry about that. So the 4th grade pro of Fiverr is that anyone can get started. Now this is a good thing actually. That means like you can get started on Fiverr without, you know, needing like specific certifications or specific proof, and you don't even need to upload a CV or whatnot. Obviously this can cause some points of contention because buyers don't want to invest in sellers that might not be qualified, but generally speaking, people that are offering services know more or less what they're talking about and what they're doing, and there's always room for growth. And that's why we have, you know, the reviews, and that's why people like to communicate before they accept work or before they send their work to someone else. That's also a great tidbit. It's also great for beginners because you don't have to bid for your orders. Basically, sellers will always come to you instead of you trying to, you know, market and sell your services towards the buyers. So that's a great thing. It's kind of different on Upwork, and I will be making a next video on Upwork. But first, I wanted to review Fiverr for you. And obviously there's always pros and cons to even the pros and the cons, but I just wanted to mention that too. That's why it's very beginner friendly. And like I said, as a beginner, you don't have to market yourself. You just post your services and then you let Fiverr take care of it, and hopefully a person will take a chance on you and you can prove yourself, and then from there you can build your profile and get more and more buyers coming in. So that was it for the pros. Let's move on to the cons. I also have 4 cons for Fiverr, and like I said before, these are my personal pros and cons list. So con number 1 is that it's hard to get started. Although I just said it's really beginner friendly and anyone can start right now on Fiverr, it's also pretty hard to actually build your profile on Fiverr. Why? It's because there's a lot of people that have been there for years, so there are reputable sellers and there are reputable buyers that are keep on buying from these sellers. However, since Fiverr is a large online marketplace, you can be assured that there will always be more new buyers and more new sellers. Now, with the competitive ratio, we will have to see moving forward. I will have to see myself moving forward. I might be able to make a second video following up to, you know, my experience on Fiverr maybe after 6 months or 1 year or 2 years. But I know for a fact, and it kind of makes sense, that in the first few months you're starting off, don't wish for a supplementary income that will cover, you know, your house bills or whatever. But slowly as you grow and as you invest time on your profile and you invest on the quality of work you submit, hopefully then you will get bigger orders and you will get recurring buyers as well. The reason why it's also hard for Fiverr is that the beginner's price for Fiverr is $5, right? And so if you're gonna start charging $6 or $10, although it's really tempting, no one's gonna go for your service because there's a bunch of services out there for $5 that can do the work that you do, maybe even better. So that's why it's kind of risque at the beginning. It's kind of why you need to build your profile before you even reap the rewards. The second big con, I had to mention it, is the commission fees. Now, from what I understand, just as a seller, the commission fees doesn't just hit me as a seller, but it also hit the buyers that I see coming towards me. I obviously understand that Fiverr needs their cut because they are offering a nice marketplace for anyone to get started, beginner, intermediate, and expert level, and that's pretty great. It's a great online resource that we have for people that want to make extra money, extra income, and that's amazing because it can be a little demoralizing. But like I said, you do build your profile and you do get larger projects in the long run, and you're getting people coming to you more often the more that you stay on there and the more projects that you complete, right? So you'll probably not feel that disadvantage as much as you go on, but in the beginning you're really gonna feel it. So Fiverr takes 20% out of any commission that I make, so whether it be a tip or it be a delivered work, I will receive 80% of that. 80% is still pretty high, but it's still a pretty big cut at the end of the day. And for the buyers, I'm not too sure how much they pay for fees because it can be a little bit misleading when I send an order. When I send an order for $5, I get $4 back, and from what I see, the buyers, they pay $7. Now, does that mean they pay more than 20%? I'm not too sure what that means exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's a 20% ratio on both ends. So if you think about it, Fiverr is actually making 40% off each transaction, if that makes sense. I'm not really good at math, but I think that's how it works, right? Because they're taking 20% from me and they're taking 20% from them. So that's 40% for Fiverr, right? Right, okay. And the last big con of Fiverr is that you cannot contact buyers, or reversely, buyers cannot contact sellers outside of the platform. Fiverr has ensured maximum security in that area because they want you to remember that the buyers that you have are their buyers. Everyone that is on Fiverr is submitted to Fiverr. So basically, yes, although you deliver the work and although you have buyers coming to you and choosing you, they are not your buyers. You're not running your own freelancing company. You're actually kind of underneath Fiverr. So you cannot break the Fiverr trust, right? You cannot use Fiverr to leverage your own business in that sense. Basically, Fiverr owns your clients. They're not really your clients. So like if you wanted to make your own personal list of buyers, you wouldn't be able to do that through Fiverr. And if there is a mention of, you know, going off the app and Fiverr catches wind, they will delete your account. And they do also send you warnings on the messages if you're like trying to send out anything like a number or something like that. Any of those things that, you know, can connect to another app, anything that can connect to another source or to another app, Fiverr will highlight it and you can be penalized. So that was my pros and cons list. Now it's totally up to you if you want to use Fiverr as a seller or as a buyer, or if you want to use Fiverr at all. I do personally believe that the pros outweighs the cons, although they're on an equal scale here, because I've actually had a great time and a great experience with Fiverr so far. I'm very curious to see how my profile will be looking in a few months down the line. Now, say you're not a buyer and you're not a seller, but you do want to make money with Fiverr. Sounds interesting, right? How can you make money with Fiverr if you're not a buyer or a seller? Well, I'll tell you how. What you can do instead is actually bring people to the Fiverr marketplace. How you can do that? Well, it's easy. It's through affiliate marketing. What you do is you basically sign up for Fiverr's affiliate. You have my link down below. You can sign up directly. It's for free. And right away, you can start earning money as soon as people start clicking your link and start using Fiverr through your link. And therefore, you're making money off Fiverr without necessarily being a seller or a buyer, or maybe in the future you want to be a seller or a buyer, but you're still making money with Fiverr. You're still understanding the concept of Fiverr, and you are helping the marketplace expand. So you're helping more sellers and you're helping more buyers at the same time. So it's a win-win situation for everyone, including yourself, because you will be making money off the Fiverr affiliate. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to have you here. And I would also love to make more videos on Fiverr or any other freelancing platforms that you would like me to review and comment on and see what I can do and how much money I can make. So yeah, that was my experience with Fiverr. Let me know about your experience with Fiverr or freelancing in general or other freelancing platforms, because I'm really curious. I really challenged myself to do it, put myself out there, and it's been rewarding so far. I haven't made a crazy amount of money. Just to give you kind of rough estimate in digits, I've made hundreds of dollars, but not hundreds of dollars plural. So let me just say somewhere between $100 and $1,000. Let's just keep your imagination going for now. It's only 3 months in, so it's pretty good for 3 months. And you can always visit my profile if you're curious to see how I've done it, how I've set up my profile, and if you're curious to see my reviews. So far, my reviews are all 5 stars, and I hope to keep it that way. I hope to deliver quality service, and I hope to build my profile and have an extra source of income. Obviously, it's not really passive income, but it's still a good source of income. You know, I'm still working for myself here at home to a certain degree, right? So I highly encourage anyone to try Fiverr, because there is a gig for everyone, whether you're a buyer or a seller. Or if not, you know, do the affiliate program, make a video, talk about Fiverr, and send people to the program. Why not? And send more people to Fiverr and help more buyers and sellers. I challenge you to count how many times I said Fiverr in this video, because I feel like all I've been saying is Fiverr, 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 Fiverr. So Fiverr for life, right? Right. Okay, I'm gonna just stop now and just go. And yeah, I think I have a Fiverr order I need to attend to. So for now, goodbye, and I'll see you on the next shelf.